Lineups have been announced. Team LVC and the Chicago Icemen are ready to get underway. I'm Rob St. Clair. Thanks for joining us live on the VLA YouTube channel. This is going to be a battle. In Chicago, the Icemen in blue on the far side of your screen will start it off with Tim Faulkner, the setter, serving. And right away, the first kill of the match by number 18 in white, Cody Kessel. We're going to be saying that name a lot. A guy with some serious volleyball pedigree, growing up in and around the USA volleyball system. And has spent some serious time in the national team gym these last couple of years. A big pickup for Team LVC this weekend. Luke Braswell just finished his collegiate career at Penn State, the setter for LVC this weekend. Float serve working on just side. This will be Wyzorek on the right side over the block and dug by Norton. Kessel again, dug in middle back by Kraft. Weiskircher on the left side for Chicago, and he registers the kill off the block. That was number 6, Trevor Weiskircher. It's there. Number 19 in blue, Dave Wyzorek, another big name, also from the USA gym. Finished his career at Pepperdine last year, just had an excellent season in A1 Germany. And the Chicago native works on Pelletier, who have a perfect pass on that serve. And a diving Will Kraft can't keep that one alive on the second touch. As number 8, AJ Witkowski, 8 in white for Team LVC, registers the kill that time out of the middle. Perfect pass from Pelletier in black, like I said. First look at the service line from Cody Kessel. Cuts that one short. Perfect pass by Jositis. And slapped down out of the middle by big number 18 in blue, Brandon Poindexter. Poindexter from Cambridge, Massachusetts. We'll go back to serve in the other middle for Chicago. Enters the front row, Dave Hancock, number 16. Ooh, and that's a bad service error by Poindexter. Missed short. Three-2 early on. Team LVC with an early advantage. Witkowski to serve. We'll play some left-back defense, and Mike Marshman, the other middle blocker for Team LVC, into the front row, number 12. Hancock into the middle. Good block touch by Marshman. Transition opportunity here for LVC. Varee on the right side, high through the block and down. Jordan Varee, number 15 in white, with the first point on serve of the match. With the transition right side kill. We'll talk about Jordan a lot this match, particularly his footwork, which is very peculiar. We'll get to that the next time he takes a swing. Cross court by Weiskircher, dug by Kessel. Varee again rolled into the block and covered. Smart shot. Kessel to Norton on the outside. 3 blockers and no touch detected on its way out of bounds. Not a bad swing at all by Norton. All he wanted there was to get some of the fingertips, but he just barely missed some of them. And the Icemen side out the hard way with opposite Trevor Weiskircher out of Lewis University back to serve. Controlled pretty easily by Kessel on the back row, and Marshman hammered wrist away. Both of these offenses in particular, any of the offenses at this level, but especially these two teams, have such incredible offensive weapons that when the ball's passed perfectly, good luck stopping them. Varee from the service line. Heater of a jump serve. Handled pretty well by Wyzorek. Kraft high over the hands. That's going to get deep enough to score. Beautiful pass from Wyzorek that time. Will Kraft, number 88 in blue. Another interesting story. Had an outstanding Division III volleyball career at Carthage in southeastern Wisconsin. Chicago natives, played the last couple seasons professionally in Denmark. Really good jump serve there, working on Pelletier. Varee out of the back row. That's off the block of Wyzorek and out of bounds. Got kind of a lucky break off the tape that time. No. Yeah. Joe Norton, number 5 in white, 31 years of age, out of George Mason on the East Coast, a long-time LVC veteran. Really good jump server. Rotation 5 receive here for Chicago. All the way outside Weisor against 2 blockers. Sharp cross court. And that dig's not going to be good enough. And the story or the joke across all of Weisorik's college and professional career was that he has 2 shots in his bag, and that is cross and even sharper cross. There's always more angle to hit if you're Dave Weisorek and you beat the block to the inside that time. That is an adjustment that LVC is going to have to make on setting up their block. Hancock with the jump serve, handled by Pelletier's hands. Quick tempo ball to the outside. Beautiful diving play by Hancock. Weisorek has a swing at this. What a play by Chicago. What a dig by middle blocker Dave Hancock. A diving, hooked stab. And an excellent set from Will Kraft in the back row. Weisorek high over the hands. Puts that ball on the end line. That's a huge point in transition. It's only early on in set 1. We're tied up at 6. Hancock again clips the tape and misses wide. Hancock, a teammate of mine in college, playing college club at Purdue, one of the very best players ever to come out of the college club scene in the NCVF, has just signed to play his 2nd straight professional season in Germany. Marshman with the jump spinner. Weiskircher just able to get out of the way in time. Back to rotation 1. We're tied up at 7 apiece. Faulkner, the setter, serving for Chicago. Rotation 6 receive here for New York. And that one's going to miss long. Luke Braswell, only 23 years of age. He's got the keys to the offense here for LVC all weekend long. Has a really good float serve. Nice hands by Jasitis. Weiskircher into the block is covered. Kraft to run this down. Really good bump set. Weisorek on the right side. Off the block is Doug. Norton all the way to Kessel. Out of system. Will roll it over the top. Picked up by Faulkner. Kind of stabbed at by Kraft, and a free ball coming over here. Well sent by Jasitis. Kessel way outside the antenna. Good rally developing here. Weiskircher again. Sharp cross court and right on the sideline. Beautiful swing by number 6 in blue. And the longest rally of the match so far goes the way of Chicago. You can go, yeah, you can go now. Weisorek from the service line again, tied up at 8. This match is already as competitive as I thought it might be. Really good pass from Kessel. Varee on the left, into the block, nice and high, though, is covered. Braswell again to Varee on the left side against 3 blockers, and he's rejected by Kraft. Kraft and Poindexter close that seam. And the Icemen take the lead at 9-8. Cody Kessel for Team LVC, number 18 in white, who's passing and right back right now and going to hit on the right side. Played mostly opposite in college at Princeton. Very comfortable hitting over there, and is going to be a huge option in this rotation. Nice, unless the pass takes him out of it, though, and an overpass tapped to the floor by Will Kraft. Nice service pressure applied by Weisorek that time. Dave Weisorek and Cody Kessel there spent a lot of time in the USA gym together the past couple years. We're both on the Norseca team that competed in Colorado Springs a year or 2 ago. And Weisorek gets the better of his former teammate that time. Trying to go with Kessel again, but that time misses deep. Kessel controlled serve, cuts it short. Weisorek keeps it alive. Kraft out of system down the line. Beautiful turn, crosses body right into the deep line corner. Nice vision by Kraft, and the Icemen lead remains at 2. Poindexter trying to atone for his previous service error. That one's better, working on Norton. Witkowski wrist away, and Poindexter can't quite make the defensive play. AJ waving hi to the stream. Witkowski, number 8 in white, out of Endicott College. Another LVC vet. Nice float serve. Wyzorek hand passes it. Hancock out of the middle. Missed just long. The Icemen really trying to push the tempo in the middle. Those middles are trying to be up before the setter even gets the ball to really take it right out of his hands. And if that connection's not perfect, you get underneath the ball, that kind of error can happen right there. We're tied up at 11. Kraft on the left again. That's right on the sideline. Another beautiful cross-court swing. Weiss-Kircher to serve. Another interesting story. 26 years of age out of Loves Park, Illinois. Spent a year at University of Illinois playing college club until he realized he was a little bit too good for that level. Then transferred to Lewis, where he played Division II varsity. Free on the right, down the line, off the chest of Deschitis. But no Chicago defender can run it down. Nice swing by Jordan Varee, 15 in white. And let's talk about his footwork really quick, because you see him hit on the right side just there with a goofy-footed approach. His right foot was his last step. And here, as he goes to jump serve, he will switch up his footwork into what's more conventional and have his left be his last step. The only player I have ever seen to switch his footwork based on where on the court he is. And that ball is missed out of bounds by Weiss-Kircher. No touch on the block. LVC leads by 1. LVC, by the way, standing for Legion Volleyball Club out of upstate New York. I'll use those interchangeably. Really good pass by Kraft, right on the net, and Faulkner, front row setter, gets in on the action. Quick tempo ball to Norton, and what a great swing. That ball set so fast, Norton barely off the ground, swings upwards. Rattles through the block of Faulkner and out of play. That is such a good KG swing by number 5 in white, Joe Norton. Varee again from the service line. Another good serve. High ball coming out to Kraft against 3 blockers. Over the top of the block, missed the corner, and no touch. And the LVC lead grows. 15-12 now on the high-pressure serving from Jordan Varee. Varee, a new father, by the way. Congratulations to him and his wife on the birth of their newborn a couple months ago. Both wife and baby are doing well and are both at this event. Clips the tape, overpassed again. Free ball opportunity here for New York. Varee out of the back row down the line, stabbed at by Deschitis. Norton again, a low set. This one tapped into the block. Free ball here for Chicago. Hancock over the top. And Varee here swinging out of system. Another good rally, but ended unfortunately on the error short. Chicago escapes the rotation finally, as Kraft is going to go back to serve here in rotation 5 for the Icemen. Rotation 4 receive here for New York. Kraft working on Kessel. A beautiful pass. And Marshman wrist away. Cross body on the 31. Man, is it easy to run an offense when the ball's passed that well. Cody Kessel doing a great job passing the ball so far. I had him on my podcast, The Deep Corner, last week right before this event. And we talked about learning the serve-receive area of the game. He didn't even play outside hitter permanently until he got to Switzerland to play professionally. Learned the passing area of the game really late, and it's impressive to see how well he handles the ball. Wyzorek against 3 blockers, high into the hands and out of bounds. And a kill for Big Wave Dave, number 19 in blue. Poindexter back to the front row for Chicago. Hancock to serve. Can Kessel bring that back? Yes. Free ball coming here at best. Big chance here for the Icemen. But a tight pass and a free ball here for New York. Marshman crushed out of the middle. And a missed opportunity there for Chicago. A free ball pass just a tiny bit too tight for Tim Faulkner to handle. And what was almost an ace serve ends up an LVC point on the kill by Marshman, who goes back to the service line here. Marshman, 25 years old, out of St. Francis University. Played the last couple seasons professionally in France. Handled by Kraft. This will come all the way outside to Wyzorek. Tight on the net, but he can't get to it before it crosses over past the antenna. Good service pressure that time by Marshman. And LVC leads by 4, 18-14. Marshman again misses that one long that time. We're back to where we started. It was 0-0 in this rotation, then 7-7, and now 15 serving 18. LVC with a decent advantage here. Wow, what a tempo that was. Incredibly fast offense to the left side and terminated one-on-one by Cody Kessel. Beautiful delivery by Braswell. (19-15) as we approach the end here. Set number 1. We play best 3 out of 5 sets to 25 points. Must win by 2. Wyzorek threw a seam in the block on the right side. Kessel can't believe that he didn't close that seam there. Decent amount of familiarity between these teams. We talked about Kessel and Wyzorek playing in the USA gym together a good amount. Also, the guys who've been with these two teams for a long time been playing each other in the adult circuit ever since the PVL days. These guys know each other really well. Another really good pass by Kessel. Kessel on the right into the block, but squirts it through and scores. A give and go on the right side, rotation 1. Nice to have a guy so comfortable with hitting on the right pin to feed the ball to get out of that usually tough rotation. 2016, the LVC advantage as Kessel serves. Misses that one short. And Chicago not going to use a service sub here. Going to let Poindexter continue to serve and play defense. Good serve working on Norton. Backside to Vary off the block of Kraft and out of bounds. The LVC offense operating on all cylinders right now. Passing the ball extremely well. Braswell delivering the ball right where the hitters need it, creating some one-on-ones. There's the Bick to Wyzorek, but kept alive and slapped over by Hancock on 1. This has got to come over. It'd be a free ball here for Chicago. Weiskircher on the right side. That's off the top of the block and scores. I think that's a good call by up official Dave Sines. That ball definitely clipped the top of the hands. Chicago had to have that point. 18 serving 21 now, which is the exact score that we saw in our first match between Team Pineapple and the Phoenix Ascension in sets 1 and 3. Ascension came back from down 18-21 in both of those sets. Very doable. This set's far from over. Good serve by Weiskircher, but an even better pass by Pelletier. And the block touch by Hancock against Marshman not good enough. Another kill for number 12 in white. And LVC looking really comfortable here, impressively so. Mike Pelletier, one of the tallest liberos you'll ever see at 6'5", number 3 in black, the off-color jersey. Doing a lot of nice work controlling the ball in the first contact so far. Here goes Vary to serve. Had a nice run last time. This is that one just short. It's a big break for Chicago. Kraft just misses the inline with that jump serve. (23-19) the score. LVC closing out on a set 1 win here. Can Norton grab an insurance point? Nope, not quite perfect hand contact on that one, and it sails long. 20 serving 23. The Icemen need to do some work in this rotation. It's going to be Hancock to serve. Both teams exchanging side outs here in the late going. Keeps that one in play, working on Kessel. Marshman on the back one. Nice block touch, kept alive on the LVC side. Kessel jumped a little early and tips it short into the net. Kind of misconnection there between Braswell and Kessel. Cody expecting that ball faster than it came. Ended up being up in the air too early, and there's a point on serve for Chicago. The set's not over yet. Braswell in the front row with Kessel and Marshman as his options, but first, LVC coach CJ Dink's going to call a timeout here. A really smart timeout just to talk this over and make sure they get this side out nice and smooth. We'll be right back after the quick timeout. Huge point here in the early going of this match, 21-23. Served by Hancock, perfect pass by Pelletier. Kessel crushed down the line, and just what the doctor ordered for LVC after an excellently timed timeout. They're going to have 3 set points. Mike Marshman with the honors. Man, Cody Kessel can seriously elevate. Rotation 6 receive here for Chicago. Overpassed, and the pineapple attempted by Faulkner, brought back by Norton. Really good pass. Kessel for the set, and he puts it away in the deep cross-court corner, and that'll do it. 25-21, the final score after an impressive showing from Team LVC. With an almost perfect side-out rate over the course of the set. They take the first. We'll be back in a few minutes with set number 2. I'm going to make a couple quick camera adjustments so it's zoomed in just a little bit more on your screen. So excuse the quick interruption, but we'll be right back. Thanks for working with me as we adjust the camera a little bit. That should look quite a bit better. Once my face is out of the shot anyway. Team's back on the floor for set number 2. Looks like no changes for either team as LVC from New York took the first 25-21. Thrown straight down on the overpass by Kessel with authority. Impressive start to set number 2 for Team LVC. Braswell serving again. Wyzorek higher of the triple block, dug by Pelletier. Norton out of the bick, is tipped and picked up by a diving Weiskircher. Out of system swing from Wyzorek. Braswell to Kessel against 2 big blockers. Big chance here for Chicago. Bick to Kraft, and he's rejected by Witkowski. What a play there from both teams, and an excellent read by number 8 in white. Vary and Kessel were there as well to close the door on Will Kraft. Braswell again for New York on the far side. Wyzorek had nowhere to be found after he passed that ball, but a nice free ball sent over to take the setter out of play. Vary out of system against 2 blockers, and he's roofed by Poindexter. That's a big point for the Icemen. They were well out of sorts as they received that ball. It caught a break as Braswell had to take the first contact on the New York side. Faulkner, the Chicago captain, serving in blue on the near side of your screen. Vary crushed cross court. Maybe found a very small seam in the block that time. And Vary on the left side, as he's capable of playing both pins. When he hits on the left, he uses normal footwork, as he also does when he serves. When he hits on the right, front row or back row, he reverses his feet, and that's just so fascinating to me. Big jump serve coming from Kessel, working on his old teammate Wyzorek. Tight pass, one-handed step by Faulkner. Tipped over by Weiskircher, chance here in transition. Jositis picks up the tip. Wyzorek out of system on the right. Cross-court dug, and that's going to go out of play. And Chicago gets out of rotation 1. Wyzorek does such a good job of keeping the ball high, as tall as he is, every bit of 6'8". Contacts the ball extremely high, but never brings it down. He hits the high parts of the block and the deep parts of the court. Wyzorek, and another really good pass by Pelletier. So good that they can run the middle effortlessly and tip to the floor by Witkowski. Excellent job by Mike Pelletier so far, anchoring the LVC serve receive. 4 serving to the New York advantage. Early on here, set number 2. Float serve coming from Witkowski. Should be a pretty easy pass from Wyzork. Poindexter out of the middle. Misses it cross body. The connection not quite there with the middle attackers so far for Chicago. For LVC, that middle connection has been there. That may be one of the differences so far. Kraft on the left, tipped over the block down the line. That kept alive by Braswell. Nice diving play. Free ball coming here for Chicago. Poindexter again, this time over the top of the block and down. Nice repeat set by Faulkner, keeping his big man involved. Hancock into the match, Justitis to the bench. And Poindexter will serve after that kill. Another perfect pass by Pelletier. That ball blocked by Hancock and can't be kept alive. A little bit of a weird play there. Set too tight and Hancock was all over it. Marshman with nowhere to go. And the Icemen are within 1, 4 serving 5. Chicago's got a side out of this one right away, as Vary did some damage in the last set. He created the run that got LVC the distance they needed clear to take set 1. Weiskircher on the right, down the line. Beautiful swing off the edge of Norton's hand and out of the reach of Pelletier. Nice inside-out shoulder action that time by Weiskircher, pulling that ball down the line. Rotation 4 receive here for New York. Norton and Marshman, the front row hitters. Another nail by Pelletier. But Marshman is rejected by Hancock. Kraft there as well. And the middle block coming alive for Chicago. The wall of ice. Chicago has always been a good blocking team. Didn't see very many in set 1, but already I think 3 here in set 2. As Weiskircher misses that serve short. Look how deep the Chicago passers are. Kraft, Wyzork, and Justitis no more than 5 feet inside the end line. Wyzork makes a good move, puts a good pass on Norton, and Hancock barely sneaks it inside the block of Marshman and scores for Chicago. We're tied up at 7. Kraft to serve here. Like I mentioned, played the last couple seasons in Denmark. Came back in March of the pandemic-shortened season. Decided he was going to retire from playing overseas. Got a full-time job in Chicago. What a scramble there that ends on a net violation from New York. As I was saying, Kraft chose to retire from playing overseas. He's just going to play recreationally and work full-time until he got a text from a coach in A1 Germany offering him a spot on a roster, and an offer so good he couldn't pass it up. Turns out he's going back overseas in September or October. Chicago takes the lead at 8-7. Clips the tape, Bailey handled by Marshman. Vary out of the back row and smoked down the line. I think that's an adjustment the Chicago block has got to make, and I think Kraft was signaling it earlier as he was up in left front blocking against Vary. I think Jordan's really comfortable hitting that ball down the line, and Wyzork that time left him a lot of space. I think they might want to take their chances digging him cross court and taking that line away with the block. Good serve by Marshman, handled very well by Kraft. Hancock on the back one, hangs and tips it over the top and down. A very nice trip through the front row that time by Hancock with a kill and a couple of blocks. He's going to try to do some damage serving here before he heads to the bench for a few rotations. 9 serving 8, Chicago with the narrow lead. Oh, and it clips Vary on its way out of bounds. A snipe. Vary running across the end line has no intention of ever touching that ball, but just gets clipped by it. And an ace serve in the stats gives Chicago a 10-8 lead. Beautiful pass by Norton. Kessel, what a dig by Hancock. Weiskircher can have a swing at this. High into the hands covered. Hancock will set this ball all the way back to Wyzorek. High over the hands dug by Pelletier. Great rally here. Where does Braswell go? Varee on the right. Into the block, and it falls on the Chicago side. What a dig by Hancock again. Had a crazy one in the last set. Another gem there in addition to a nice back set, but Chicago can't come away with the point. Big swing there from Jordan Varee to keep his team in it. Take all the time we need to wipe all the sweat off the floor. Hot weekend here in Northeast Indiana. Guys are sweating, floor's going to get wet. That's okay, we'll take all the time we need. Braswell back to serve in rotation 1 for LVC. Perfect pass from Kraft. Wyzorek crushed into the deep cross-court corner. Against 3 blockers, doesn't matter. Not much you can do to stop that when the ball's contacted that high and hard. Nice delivery from Faulkner, and he goes back to serve with his team up by 2. Working on Kessel, who might get this set here against 2 big blockers. Into the head of Poindexter. Straight up into the air and out of bounds. Common problem for guys that are this big and jump that high. You get your head over the net. Sometimes ball gets past your arms and hits you right in the forehead. It's happened to all of us. Kessel with a pretty bad service error that time. That one not even close to clearing the net. Cody's played really well so far, but has yet to get it going from the service line. Wyzorek, however, has number 19 in blue. His team leads by 2. And this the caliber of serve that can give LVC some issues. Rotation 2 receive for New York. Oh, barely fails to clear the tape. As the metal twine gets in the way, Marshman back into the match as Witkowski goes to serve. Actually, no, service sub here, number 21, James Hosley, the younger brother of Captain Chris. Backup libero comes in to be a service specialist and defender here, replacing Witkowski. Working short on Wyzorek. All the way back to Weiskircher on the right side, who had to bring his feet inside to meet that ball. Misses it just out of bounds. Tied up at 12 apiece. That serve missed short. But LVC did get 1 on serve. As the service sub's undone. Icemen up by 1, 13-12, but trailing by a set. LVC took the first, 25-21. A lot of volleyball left to play here. Nice short serve working on Kessel. That's tight to the net. Really nice play by Braswell with a one-handed feed to Marshman. The back row setter couldn't throw that ball over on 2. What he could do is get up high and touch it with one hand to his teammate to do the attacking for him. Chicago's block that time may not have recognized where the setter was. Now Braswell to the front row as Varee goes back to serve for LVC. Kraft all the way on the outside against 3 blockers. Higher over the top, stab in the back row made by Kessel. And a double contact that time called against, I believe, Joe Norton. Negating a pretty good defensive play by Kessel. Nice high rip by Will Kraft that time. Good serve by Weiskircher, handled pretty well by Kessel. Norton on the left side, into the block, and he's rejected. Hits Norton's foot on its way. May have been going out of bounds, may have gone right to the sideline. But another block from Hancock. Faulkner there as well. The Icemen lead is 2, 15-13. Kessel again. See if he gets him involved in the big. No block up for Varee. And Aristoway down the line. What a set by Braswell. Impressive delivery from the young setter, number 4 in white. And a pretty big moment as Joe Norton goes back to serve here. Rotation 4 received for Chicago. Hancock and Kraft, the front row options. Pretty good pass from Jositis, but a platform coming here from Faulkner. Kraft against 3 blockers, high into the hands, dug by Norton. Kessel thrown straight down through the block of Faulkner into the floor on the Chicago side. Point for New York, we're tied at 15. Haven't seen a whole lot of in-system BIC from either team. Kessel, who just played an overseas season for the Berlin Recycling Volleys in Germany, one of the top European club teams. It's all over the highlight reel running that quick tempo attack from the back row. Wyzork's got it in his bag as well, obviously, as do Kraft and Norton. Nice blocking play by LVC, but kept alive on the Chicago side. Tight ball for Kraft, tipped off the block and into the floor. What a smart play by number 88 in blue, Will Kraft. That was right on the plane of the net. Kraft pushed it into the LVC block and out of bounds, and a diving Varee couldn't pick it up. Nice offense on a tight ball. 16-15, the Chicago narrow lead. Serve clips the tape, handled pretty well by Kessel. Back row to Varee, cross court, and missed just out of bounds, no touch detected. LVC begging for a touch. I don't think I saw one. They're asking about a net violation. The serve hit the tape, and that net will move for a while after that. Big point on serve there for the Icemen, 17-15 the score. Overpassed. Oh, and that is an interesting call. Over the net is called against Wyzork. That's going to be a New York point. I do not know about that. Braswell, a front row setter. Both players had every right to the ball as long as it was in the plane, but the call is that Wyzork reached all the way over the net to get the ball while it was still fully on the LVC side. I'm not sure if I agree with that. That's a big break for New York. They trail by 1. Marshman serving. And a foot fault on serve, and I guess the ball never lies after all. Chicago bench loving that one. Hancock, the former Boilermaker, serving up by 2. Cuts that one short, but too short. Don't know if he had that one in mind or it was just... If he had that one in mind or if it was necessitated by a poor toss. Nice high swing by Weiskircher into the block, but run down by Norton. Chance here in transition for Kessel. Another good block touch into a dig. Wyzork on the left side, cross court into the deep corner again. And a perfectly located swing by number 19 in blue for the Icemen. A timeout's going to be called by LVC here. I'm a little bit surprised. I guess they're just not able to break the serve of Chicago. Unable to get this gap narrower than 2, and they're going to talk it over a little bit as we reach the end. Here's set number 2. Remember, New York leads by 1. 1 set to none, 25-21 the score, set 1. And Chicago looking to even this thing up. I think this match, we could be here for a while, and I wouldn't have it any other way, excuse me. Love watching these two teams go at it. Faulkner, the setter, also a member of the VLA board. Such a great ambassador for the game in the city of Chicago and beyond. The VLA board done a ton of work in the past several months to pull this event off, and now we get to enjoy it as guys like Tim get to get out there and play some ball. Another good pass from Pelletier. Witkowski, nice block touch, one-handed stab by Kraft. Free ball here for LVC. Beautiful step by Braswell again. What a block touch by Weiskircher. Wyzorek again. What an incredible play by number 6 in blue. Trevor Weiskircher was nowhere to be found but stuck out an arm just 90 degrees laterally to the floor. Popped that ball straight up. And Jositis, the libero, there to handle the free ball pass. It turns into a point. I can't say I've ever seen that particular play before. That was really cool. I haven't said Peter Jositis' name enough yet in this match. Number 1 in the whitest light blue jersey for Chicago, a former NCAA champion with Loyola. In 2014, an exceptional passer and defender. Oh, a beautiful tip by Norton out of the pipe, just out of the reach of Poindexter's fingers. That was a really important sight out there for Team LVC as they trail by 2. Kessel again working on the seam, but passed really well by Kraft. One-on-one, hammered cross court by Wyzorek. Outstanding pass that time by Will Kraft, stepping into the seam between him and Jositis. Negated, but would have been a pretty good serve otherwise. And here again, the fabled score of 21-18. New York closed on a 21-18 lead in set 1. Chicago looking to do the same here in set 2 on the serve of Wyzorek, working on Kessel. Platform set coming way out of system to Norton against 3 blockers. Beautiful dig by Jositis. Can Kraft get some transition here and take a swing at this? Rolls it over the top and a miscommunication. It scores. Norton actually may have done too good of a job in the off-blocker defense that time, actually running past where the ball was and confusing Pelletier. A huge transition insurance point for Chicago. Excellent dig by Peter Jositis, and Wyzorek's going to serve again here. Another rocket of a serve, but a perfect pass from Kessel. And an easy tap down in the middle by Witkowski. Man, it must be nice to run an offense and the ball is passed that well. Serving 22. LVC trails by 3. There's the big attack and no block up. Beautiful set by Faulkner. And crushed by Wyzorek, no doubt about it. That is the piece of offense that I've been waiting to see. Service substitute in this time, number 17, Ben Hancock, the younger brother of Dave. Just finished his collegiate career at Pepperdine, the backup setter. Puts a float serve in on Norton. There's the Bick right back at him, but dug by Wyzorek. Kraft off the block of Varie and out of bounds, and Chicago really feeling the momentum this time. The younger Hancock Ben about to serve for the set, 24-19. Excellent dig from Wyzorek. Just a barely mistimed play on the Bick attempt by LVC. Had to be a tip instead of a full swing by Kessel. Did fool the block, though, so that's a storyline to follow. See how these blockers maneuver this chess game against these fast offenses. Ace serve! Ben Hancock with the float serve, rattling ace. And we are all square, 25-19, the set 2 score. An impressive run to the finish there from the mid stages of the set across the finish line for Chicago. We've got a lot more volleyball coming your way. 25-19, the final score. We're tied at 1 set apiece. We'll be right back with set number 3. Don't go anywhere. About to be joined in the break by LVC coach CJ Denk. Hey, Coach.
How are you, buddy?
Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
CJ Denk on the mic with me. Heck of a match so far. Both teams able to close on 21-18 leads, close in both sets. What do you think was the swing after set one? You guys seem to be firing on all cylinders offensively.
Well, we were really aggressive on serving. We missed a bunch of serve in that first set, but we were passing really, really well. So we wanted that same idea. Let's go in hard on our serves. Let's be super aggressive. But then our passing started to break down that second set and got us out of system, and we weren't able to do anything when we were out of system. So got to get better there for sure.
Yeah, the serve and pass battle, obviously everything at this high of a level. But out of system offense, the first set it looked like everything clicked. And you got some new pieces. Luke Braswell, real young setter, trying to run the offense really, really fast, and the margin of error there is pretty slim. So when you can't pass the ball, the struggle is there a little bit. So out of system, what are you telling your pin hitters when they're taking swings against well-formed blocks?
Well, right now we got two very different outsides. We got Joe Norton, who likes a fastball to the pin in every situation. And we got Cody Kessel, who jumps. He wants the ball as high as possible, so he can jump and hit over people. So Luke's struggling recognizing which one's there and when to give who the ball and what tempo. So I think we run a little bit more stuff out of the middle, get that pick involved a little bit more. I think we can spread our offense, make their middles make a little bit stronger, faster decisions. I think we just let them off the hook. Too many high balls the outside.
I was just starting to notice that and started to talk about that in the last set is the chess match is going to start to develop as the BIC becomes more of a part of the offense. So I'm not surprised to hear that that's going to become a part of both teams. I think both teams are going to start to run it a lot, move some blockers around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, everybody at this level, the differences between players is so slim. I think if you can, again, serve and pass is huge, but it's what you do in that gray area of volleyball that's going to set aside who wins this and who starts off 0-1 for the weekend. So,
well said, Coach. Thanks for joining us. We'll get you back to set 3.
Awesome. Thanks, Robert.
Thanks to Coach CJ for joining during the break. He's always so transparent, so candid. I love to hear his insight. He will never hide the way he's feeling about the way his team's playing. And this is going to be a battle. Like I was saying, a couple new pieces for LVC. These guys, all these guys that are here this weekend, haven't really played competitive indoor in several months. So knocking off the rust, figuring each other out, making the connection across the weekend. The level of volleyball is only going to get better, and it's already really high. Starting off here, set 2. Barely missed the cross-court corner. Will Kraft starting to serve in rotation 5. An interesting change for Chicago. That one just long, maybe 6 inches past and wide of the corner. It was a good-looking serve. Rotation 1 is the starting rotation for New York once again, with Braswell to put in the floater. Hand pass by Wyzorek. Hancock into the block in the middle, kept alive by Kraft. Free ball coming here for New York. But a free ball kill as nobody comes up to take the ball on the short right side of the court. Braswell left, as he should have done. And a very, very wisely located free ball by Dave Wyzorek. Not just a big hammer. Rotation 6 serving. I really like seeing how coaches react to changes in the match and in what rotation they start their same lineup in. It creates different matchups across the net and could change everything in who has advantages in what rotations. Good serve from Hancock, but a beautiful pass by Kessel. Oh, another one of the same call from earlier. That time, though, Braswell, a back row setter. If that ball is in the plane at all, it's Wyzorek's ball. And I agree with him. I don't think he reached all the way over there, but up referee Dave Sines, no messing around, makes that call with authority. The same call twice in a row. LVC takes the lead 2-1. Kessel with the serve. Out of system. Weiskircher against 3 blockers out of the back row. Nicely shot down the line, but dug by Pelletier. Really fast tempo set. Almost too fast for Norton, and no touch detected on the block. LVC begging for it. I didn't see it from where I'm sitting. Two apiece. Already some hot action here in set number 3. Tied up at 1. 3 out of the back row. Really good dig from Kraft. Weiser against 2 blockers. Into the block of Witkowski and just barely out of bounds. called in by the line judge on our side, out on the line judge on the far side. That is correct. She's the line judge on the near side saying it was in on her line, but the line judge on the far side saying it was out on his line. That is how officiating is supposed to be done. In on the sideline, out on the end line. Good call. That block barely missed the court, and Chicago scores. Faulkner working on Pelletier. Another perfect pass. Middle again, Witkowski cross body, and Faulkner can't make the defensive play. Witkowski after that kill goes back to serve! And that's a deep cross-court ace. Totally confused Kraft and Jositis. They were all way up at 15 feet trying to hand pass that ball, and that ball got past them and dropped off a cliff right in the deep corner. Beautiful serve by the LVC middle blocker. Going at that same spot, this time handled by Kraft's hands. Backside to Wyzorek, into the high part of the block and out of bounds. Very calm and casual from number 19 in blue. We're tied up at 4. This is fun to watch, man. I love watching this volleyball. These teams starting really to get into it, starting to get warm, get loose, get the competitive juices flowing. Wyzorek back to the line. He likes to work on zone 1. Maybe he goes at Pelletier here. No, instead at Kessel, who puts a pretty good ball up, and he'll get set on the bick, and a beautiful, smart tip. What an excellent read by number 18 in white, tipping that short to zone 4. And a diving Jositis can't quite get there. Tip, an underrated and underutilized option out of the bick. I really like when hitters have the vision to drop that ball short. Varee with the jump serve. Pretty good ball from Kraft. Whoa! Whoops! Little mishand contact there. That play developing really, really fast. And a little spatch action from Kraft that time as New York takes the 2-point lead. Another rocket of a serve. Right on the net, but hit out of bounds by Marshman on the overpass. Big missed opportunity there for New York. Five serving 6. Poindexter putting in the floater, working on Pelletier. Look how fast that tempo set is. Covered on the LVC side. A beautiful set by Pelletier. Norton against 2 blockers. And he gets the kill off the high hands. What a set by number 3 in black. Mike Pelletier out of Springfield, a D3 powerhouse in Massachusetts. Has played some outside hitter in his career, but focuses at this point just on serve receiving, and playing some defense. Ace serve, Joe Norton. What a rip. Wow, nobody in the gym knew he was going thumb up on that one until the instant he contacted it. That was amazing. No chance for Jositis to get that ball to his right. Heck of a serve by number 5 in white. 8 serving 5, the New York lead. Norton again picking the same spot. Jositis ready for it that time. Hancock off a really good block touch. And a net violation on the Chicago side as Hancock landed, followed through, touched the bottom of the net. And another point on Joe Norton's serve. Starting to really feel himself back there. Which I love. Serving, the only quote-unquote closed chain skill in volleyball. The skill that you have control of from the very beginning to the very end. And very easy for players, especially big jump servers, to create their own momentum by the way they serve the ball. Wow. What a play there by Chicago. Awkward looking one-handed set by Faulkner, but Weiskircher, an excellent job of recognizing, bringing his feet to the inside and tapping that ball down through the seam. 6 serving 9. A nice start here to set number 3. Pass ball off the net. This is a chance here for Chicago with a triple block against Kessel. High into the hands dug by Faulkner. Weiskircher, excuse me, the offense running, and Kraft off the high hands. Right on cue. You get the ball passed off to 15 feet, and that might be the only thing your team needs to set up a good enough block, to get a good enough touch, to make an easy transition chance, and that is exactly what Chicago is able to do there. Good serve from Weiskircher, 7 serving 9. Trying to tag the deep corner that time and misses it long. Marshman with the same pre-serve routine. He starts at the service line, takes a certain number of steps back, slaps the ball, bounces a few times, tosses it high. Good spinner right on the seam between Kraft and Weisorek. Weiskircher with the scud down the line, but that's kept alive, and a free ball sent over here by Braswell, tapped back over by Hancock. Vree out of system against 2 blockers, over the top and no touch detected. Crazy point there. Good hustle from Norton. Running past the left of the court to go track that ball down. May have been Witkowski, actually. Not sure who it was that went to track that ball down. Chicago takes the side out. Kraft to serve. Barely kept alive by Witkowski. Kessel can have a swing at this, and he puts it away. What a play on the New York side. That tape trickler serve is an ace 9 times out of 10, but an incredible scooping pancake play by the middle blocker Witkowski. And Braswell able to deliver a hittable ball to Kessel, who puts it away deep cross court. Really making something out of nothing there on the New York side, and their lead stays at 3. Nice play by Braswell. He'll go back to serve. Man, are these two teams looking good in the new Smack uniforms. I just love them. The Flamingos, the Icemen kind of Top Gun look. I love it. Hancock with a nice high middle swing off 2 blockers, not a play. Hancock to serve here, as I mentioned before, starting his 2nd professional season in Germany. Whenever the seasons get the clearance to resume. That jump serve missed just short. Hancock's done a lot of work on his serve. When I played with him in college, didn't have the jump spinner in his arsenal, but grinded that a lot in Germany. So athletic. Gets up really high, makes great hand contact. Meant to be a jump server. Just like this guy, Cody Kessel. Speaking of jumping high and contacting it high. That pass well off the net by Weisorek. Another chance here for New York to set up a good block. Weisorek, dug by Pelletier. And a double contact there against Braswell. That didn't come out that badly, but I kind of like the leash being a little bit shorter for players at this high of a level. As far as ball handling goes, that's been a topic of debate in the volleyball community recently. I think it's been announced that at the NCAA women's level this season, whenever the season resumes, pretty much anything that's not 2 distinct contacts is going to be allowed to be played on. There's been a lot of discussion about that. Weisorek! Angle, and more angle. LVC not reading the scouting report as far as block setup, and Chicago's brought this thing all the way back to within 1. New York clinging to a 12-11 advantage and calling timeout here to stop a little bit of the bleeding, trying to keep their lead. I want to take a second during this timeout to thank a lot of our sponsors. Swish Live, who's provided our live streaming software. Just an incredibly easy to use, simple, and high-quality platform. Huge shout-outs to Swish Live. Also Mikasa. Their banners are all over this gym right now. The Mikasa V200W, the new international standard in game volleyballs, or the official ball of the VLA. We thank them for providing all of the balls used in the gym this weekend. And of course, Smack Sportswear, outfitting our players in the best looking threads I've ever seen in any American volleyball league. LVC with the pink flamingos. Icemen in blue on the far side, just Great looking guys out on the court right now. Smack, Mikasa, Swish Live, thank you guys so much for your support of the Volleyball League of America. Faulkner serving for Chicago out of the timeout. And a beautiful timeout and a coach's point credited to CJ Dank, triggering the service error. Witkowski, who you remember had that float service ace over Will Craft's head last time. See where he goes. This time short. Well handled by Jositis. Weiskircher, high swing in the sharp cross court. Deflected by the block and off of Witkowski as well. Chicago remains within one. Tight battle here in set 3. The teams are tied at a set apiece. Would not be at all surprised if we went the distance in 5 sets here. Another great pass from Kessel. Tipped over the top by Marshman, kept alive by Weiskircher, who does a good job in transition to be available. Kraft high into the hands, dug by Braswell. Pelletier will set this ball. Varie on the right side, rolled over the top. Another dig by Weiskircher. Kraft again, way outside the antenna, and he gets away with it, tipping it into the block, and it lands just out of bounds. What a smart play by number 88 in blue, also to get out of the way of it before it hits him in the foot. We're tied up at 13 all. Wyzorek looking to break the tie. Very, very close, but just long. Rotation 2 receive here for Chicago. Haven't seen a lot of middle attack from them in just a little while. See if Poindexter gets involved here. Weiskircher on the right, into the block of Norton and out of bounds. Weiskircher doing a really good job playing the whole game right now. Played a year of professional volleyball in Greece as an outside hitter. Playing opposite here, you can tell that some of those skills have transferred over. Game awareness, off-blocker defense, digging a bunch of balls. Not hitting the ball exceptionally hard, but taking a lot of really smart swings on that right side. That pass by Marshman. Norton really fast on the left side, but missed sharp cross court. Clipped the tape, but not the block on its way out of bounds. And Chicago takes the lead, 15-14. Varie on the right, somehow sneaks it through the block. No, that ball was up. And yes, a replay is going to be called. That ball was dribbling down the chest of Hancock and Kraft. I think Hancock kicked it straight upwards. And a premature whistle by our referee is going to result in a replay. That's a break for Chicago. Nice reaction by number 16 in blue, Dave Hancock. Poindexter serving again. Big attack to Kessel, who throws the tip into the block of Kraft and out of bounds. Good effort by Poindexter trying to run that ball down, diving off the side of the court. But another kill for number 18 in white, Cody Kessel. We're tied up at 15. Norton's had a good set serving the ball. What a set by Faulkner, one-handed. But unfortunately a net violation as he tries to play the ball high off the net. Service pressure from Norton paying off. 16-15, the LVC lead. Weiskircher on the right, into the block, and he's stuffed by Kessel and Marshman. Nice move by numbers 18 and 12 in white. Absolutely nowhere to go. And the LVC lead is 2. A nice turnaround from the New York guys. Oh, I can't believe that serve didn't clear the net. Just heard Loy Ball in the distance say, wow, that was halfway over. Pretty much was. Weiskircher, the Chicago opposite, serving. Setter, Faulkner back to the front row. Chicago trails by 1. Serve clips the tape, handled by Norton. Vree out of the back row. I don't think that cleared the net. Maybe it did give Will Kraft a block. Actually, it may have gotten that one in the nose through the net. It'll be a hitting error for Vree. And we're tied up at 17 once again. Perfect pass from Pelletier. Kessel, really good block touch by Hancock, and a diving play by Faulkner made. Kraft can have a swing at this. Another cover off the block. Free ball here for New York. Oh, and a beautiful center dump by Braswell. What a smart play. And that was an incredible defensive play by Tim Faulkner. Reacting to dive off the court and scoop that ball up off the block touch. But a really nice free ball pass by Mike Marshman, who's serving now for LVC, and then dumped straight to the floor by Braswell, number 4 in white. First setter dump we've seen from him. So very nice time. Tough pass. Platform set to Weiskircher. Tipped over the block, dug by Marshman. Basically a free ball here. Kessel down the line, right on the sideline. Elevating and chopping that thing, thumb down, right on the line, and a 2-point advantage off the service pressure of Marshman. 4-team LVC out of New York. This a pivotal set result here in set 3, obviously. Tight pass again. Who wins the joust to the net? Incredible diving play by Jositis. Sent back over by Faulkner. Vree against no block. Dug down the line by Jositis. But it can't quite be kept alive as it goes over the net. And LVC really rolling in this service rotation. This has got to be a timeout from Chicago, and yes, it is. 20-17, an impressive push here from the New York Legion. What was a back and forth set so far, tied at 13, tied at 15, tied at 17. A quick 3-0 run on the serve of Mike Marshman. Both these teams' first match of the weekend, of course. LVC, though, has a back-to-back. They play again at 3 p.m. Eastern time in about an hour and a half against the Phoenix Ascension, who soundly defeated Team Pineapple 3-0 this morning. So that'll be a good one. You're going to want to come back at 3 p.m. Eastern for that next match. And the nightcap today will be the Chicago Icemen against Indiana's Team Pineapple, an all-Midwestern battle. That'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern. Marshman serving out of the timeout. And another effective timeout, forcing a service error. (18 serving 20). Chicago needs a couple here on serve. Rotation 6 receive for Braswell and the Legion. Ace serve right down the line. What a rip from Kraft. Nobody on the planet is touching that serve. Flawless wrist away right on the sideline. Awesome. And right on cue, too, in a big moment. 19 serving 20. Just long that time, and LVC catches a break. Braswell serving with a 2-point lead. New York can side out perfectly. They'll take this set. As they're 2 points clear right now. Wyzorek and Hancock, the front row options for Chicago. Back one set, tapped over by Hancock, kept alive barely. This will have to be a free ball. Actually, 4 contacts is going to be called, and a very good call. That was stabbed at by two of the defenders. They deflected off one another for New York. Those are the first two contacts. Then sent over on the fourth. That's well recognized by both officials. Lance Rogers coming flying in from the sideline to be the towel boy. Don't worry, you'll see him in his pink shoes later on this weekend. Hancock cuts it short, handled pretty well by Pelletier. Free on the left, through the block and down. Nice reactionary passing move by number 3 in black, Mike Pelletier. Was back deep for the heavy heater jump serve. Recognizes that Hancock dropped his elbow quickly, moved forward, and got a perfect platform underneath that ball. Kessel with a 2-point lead. Cuts that one short as well, handled by Kraft. Wyzorek! Angle, angle, and more angle. The scouting report holds true. Wyzorek, a Chicago native, went to Loyola Academy, a high school on the north side, before an incredible collegiate career at Pepperdine, MPSF Player of the Year, first team All-American, and now making a living playing volleyball in Germany. Free on the right into the block of Poindexter, and he's stuffed. That ball set a little bit inside, and we're tied up at 22. Who is going to steal set number 3 here? Someone's going to have to get 2 points clear. We might have extra points here in this set. Another great pass by Pelletier. Witkowski with the left slaps it over, dug by Faulkner. Weiskircher for the lead. Dug by Pelletier again, but right on the net, and it's in! Right on the sideline on the Chicago side. And that could be a huge point. Jositis let it drop. I honestly thought it was going out from where I was sitting as well, but it landed at least 6 inches in. And that's a huge play, and I think technically a kill for the libero, Mike Pelletier. Put him on the stat sheet. And a big service sub coming in here, number 7 in white, Landon Shorts. Back up outside hitters. Super springy, very Taylor Crabb-like in play style. Can come off the bench and deliver a great jump serve, and that's a good one. Wyzorek on the right, and such a good swing, incredibly high level. Just so casual, contacts it high, sees the court, and puts it perfectly in the deep line corner. Excellent work by number 19 in blue, and he goes back to serve. We're tied at 23. This ending's going to be good. Can LVC side this ball out on the first try? Really good pass by Kessel. Vary dug in the deep center of the court by Wyzorek, but it falls. Weiskircher couldn't turn around fast enough. That's a kill for Jordan Vary, and he's going to have set point on his serve. 24-23. The heat on that ball by Vary absolutely knocked Wyzorek off his feet in the back row there. Still able to put a pretty good dig on it. Vary serving for the set. Rotation 2 receive here for Chicago. Great pass from Jositis. Weiskircher over the top. And I thought that ball may have been in, but called out of bounds just wide of the sideline. And in a tightly contested set 3, the New York Legion comes out on top, 25-23 the score. That's huge. Still a lot of volleyball left to be played. Set number 4 is going to be a good one. We will be right back. I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it on the broadcast, but I did do that the other day. Yeah, for sure. Set number 4 coming your way live on the Volleyball League of America YouTube channel. I'm Rob St. Clair. Thanks for joining us. Barn burner of a match here so far. New York leads 2-1, 25-23, a narrow margin in set 3 to take the lead. No changes for either team. Kraft to Weisor against 3 blockers. Incredibly high, smart swing. Helps to be able to contact the ball that high. Beautifully done, high off the hands of the block into the deep cross-court corner. See if Hancock can serve and play some more inspired defense after his serve. Rotation 1 receive here for New York. Kessel and right back, passing and hitting. That's where Hancock goes. What a rip by Witkowski out of the middle. Nice put away, wrist away. Kessel misses that serve short. Yeah, he's really yet to get it going from the service line as well as he's done just about everything else. Faulkner, just one of the best people in the game of volleyball. Puts in the float serve, beautifully hand pass by Kessel again. Witkowski again, this time on the turn cross body. Poindexter 0 for 2 on stopping him this set so far. We're tied up at 2. Witkowski's had some float serve success in this match so far. That's the same one he tried to go for earlier, but Kraft was ready for it. Poindexter through the center of the block and gets his own rebound on the overpass. And big number 18 in blue taps it down. Poindexter, another college club product. 30 years of age, played at Boston College. Moved to Chicago for work and has gotten better and better every year. He's a fun guy to watch play. As incredibly built and athletic as he is. Speaking of athletes, Weisor to serve. And a beautiful pass by Kessel again. Hammered out of the middle by Marshman. Really impressed with Luke Braswell running the offense here. After his coach CJ Denk and I talked after set 2, talked about the difference in the outside balls that their 2 outside hitters demand and getting Bick involved. I've been really impressed with how Braswell has wrapped his mind around the way the game is going right now. Overpass and crushed to the floor by Marshman again. Right in the chest of Decidus as he runs in to try and make the play. LVC is starting to serve the ball really tough and really consistently. Not all that many service errors, just some nice hard top spinners, making the Chicago passers work really hard. There's another one, and a beautiful ball by Kraft. Wyzorek out of the bit, crushed cross-body. Man, there is not much in the sport of volleyball that's more fun to watch than the Bic run-in system. Just so beautiful to watch the middle blocker go up and then him go down and the outside hitter come up right behind him and off in the Red Sea of the blocker's parts. Wyzorek's got to be licking his chops when he sees the net with no blockers like that. Fun play to watch there. Look at the tempo of that set, and that's exactly what his coach was talking about. Norton wants that ball as fast as possible all the time to slap the ball off the hands. That's exactly what he did there. Oh. 5-4, the New York advantage. Just as I praised LVC's serving, Norton misses that one after a little bit of a delay. It'll be Weiss Critcher for Chicago, number 6 in blue. Rotation 5 receive here for New York. Kessel and Marshman, the front row hitters. Vuri out of the right side. What a dig by Wyzorek. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, a put away by the fist of Braswell on the overpass. Every setter loves getting the opportunity to swing once in a while. I cannot get over that dig by Dave Wyzorek. Just basically on his backside, a one-handed stab straight up in the air. Chicago just couldn't keep it on their side. New York leads by 1 once again. Beautiful pass by Jositis. Kraft high off the hands, slapped that and kept alive. Vuri with a chance out of the back row, into the block of Hancock and kept alive. Kraft's way out of system. Another good high swing, but a free ball opportunity here for Braswell, who throws it down to the floor with 2 hands. You could see Braswell just glance over the net, see if he had any blockers in his way. And when he realized he didn't, he knew that he could turn his shoulders and throw that one down with no problem. Really nice back row defense by Joe Norton on LVC, staying so deep, even past the end line, to get those balls from Kraft that go high off the hands and deep. That's very high-level, modern men's volleyball defense. Good serve by Marshman. Wyzorek out of the pipe against 3 blockers, and he finds some real estate in the deep corner again. Showing his range to both corners out of the pipe. Must be nice to be able to throw up a ball 15 feet off the net against 3 blockers and have a pretty reliable terminal scorer like Wyzorek back there. Chicago trails by 1, 6-7, with Will Kraft to serve. Wow, what a passing move by Pelletier. It's a perfect pass. Dug by Kraft. Chance here in transition. That one didn't come out very nicely. LVC begging for a double contact, but they have a free ball. Wow, the New York sideline is not going to be pleased about that call. Braswell got called in a ball handling error on a very similar play earlier in the match that Faulkner just got away with. That's a break for Chicago for sure, and Kraft will continue to serve. Just a bit outside. Maybe the ball never lies once again. One thing I really like in this gym setup this weekend, no spectators in the house, obviously because of CDC guidelines amidst a global pandemic, but I like being able to hear the benches. I can hear the bench chatter crystal clear. It's really fun to listen to. Hancock out of the middle, high off the block and out of bounds. And Chicago could use a little bit more of that. Faulkner hasn't gotten the middles involved throughout most of set 3 as much as he did earlier on in the match. And that's kind of a common narrative for volleyball. You like to get the middles involved early and often and then it becomes more pin-dominated as it goes along. But Hancock and Poindexter both really dynamic attackers. That serve missed just out of bounds. Kessel cuts that one short, handled perfectly by Jositis. There's the middle tack right on cue. And a big old block. No, actually, that fell on the Icemen's side. Poindexter's middle attack was dug, and Witkowski in transition sneaks it through the block somehow. And New York breaks the stalemate, Goes up by 2. Kessel serving again. Kessel misses that one short. It'll be Faulkner against New York's rotation 2. See if Chicago can find a couple points on serve. Their block's gone a little quiet. LVC just passing the ball really well, and there's another one. Right on cue, one-on-one stuff block. Wyzorek against Vary. I wish it worked every time where I could just speak things into existence like that. Great block from number 19 in blue. Faulkner again, tie up at 10. Tipped over the top. Really good read by Faulkner. Wyzorek against 2 blockers. Cross court and a really good dig by Pelletier, but a free ball on the Chicago side. Wyzorek again, this time down the line. And Braswell can't keep it alive. And Wyzorek Chicago teammates recognizing how rare it is that Wyzorek pulls one down the line like that. As the LVC block continues to adjust to that cross-court range, the line will open itself up more and more. And if Wyzorek sees it early enough, nothing's going to stop him from pulling it down the line like he just did. That is exactly the blocking versus hitter-setter offense chess match that is so much fun to watch in high-level volleyball. Hitters do their thing, blockers adjust, hitters adjust, and the beat goes on. Barely kept alive, but then roofed by Poindexter. And just as I ask about where Chicago's going to find some points on serve, they manufacture a couple on the pretty tame and general float serve of Tim Faulkner. LVC continuing to pass the ball reasonably well, but the Icemen block is making some really good reads. Ace serve! Who said Faulkner's serve was pretty tame? Come on, a float service ace right down the line off of Norton's hands. No timeout here from LVC. I'm a little bit surprised. The momentum firmly with Chicago right now. Tough pass again. This might be just a free ball. No, Norton's going to have a swing at it into the block of Poindexter and covered. Free ball here for Chicago. Handled by Weiskircher. Poindexter out of the middle, but misses it just long. Poindexter, I'm not sure if he's distraught about the call or about the ball being long. It looked close to me. Tough to see on the far side of the court there. And a big break for New York, needing to get out of that rotation. Rotation 1 receive here for the Icemen. One-handed set from Faulkner, but only a free ball can be sent over. Chicago all out of sorts, but a really good block touch keeps them alive. Wyzorek got a system. Into the block and dug. Norton against 3 blockers. Finds a small seam and beats Jositis cross court. Another big point on serve for New York. They're clawing back into this thing. 12 serving 13. This is set 4. If Chicago's able to take this, we'll go 5, and that'll be a quick tiebreak sprint to only 15 points. Beautiful set by Faulkner. Nice high swing covered by Kraft. Where's Faulkner go with this one? Weiskircher again! Down the line and right on the end line. Excellent repeat set from number 2 in blue, Tim Faulkner. I love that offensive choice. Reward his hitter, Weiskircher, for a smart reset swing into the high hands. Wyzorek against LVC's rotation 3. Norton, Marshman, and Varee, the front row hitters. Serve clips the tape, handled pretty well by Kessel. Varee on the right side, and 2 players there for Chicago, but Faulkner can't quite make the defensive play cross court. Interesting, a 6-2 substitution going to come in here for LVC. Number 13 in white, the legendary Eric Martin. 47 years of age, 5'5", going to come in and flow some nectar, set the offense for the Flamingos. And number 17, Ryan Adams, in is the other opposite. The Kraft beats him immediately through a seam in the block and right on the end line. An interesting choice to run the 6-2 here for Team LVC. We'll see how quickly Martin and Adams can get warm right off the bench. Chicago leads by 2. Excellent set from Martin and chopped wrist away down the line by Norton. It doesn't matter how old or how tall Eric Martin is. He can still absolutely run an offense with the best of them. Nice quick tempo, nice quick release out of his hands. Just out of bounds on the serve of Joe Norton. And now it's New York that's searching for ways to score points on serve. Chicago made a little run of their own on the serve of Faulkner. New York's going to have to find something here. Wow, what a chop crossbody by Marshman. Another perfect pass by Pelletier. And an underrated part of the 6-2 switch is how it changes your middle hitters. Middle attackers get really used to the ball coming out of a setter's hands a certain way, and the offense is run at such a quick tempo that any change in that could cause a misconnection that could result in, suboptimal attacking. So especially the ball being released from a lower point from Martin compared to Braswell, it's impressive to see Marshman react quickly and adjust to that. And a nice high swing by Kraft on the outside there keeps the Chicago lead at 2. The Icemen siding out really efficiently in the last 10 or 15 points here. Another wrist away serve from Kraft, a beautiful pass. What a set from Martin again. Just awesome from the little guy. Getting up there in a one-hand dish to Witkowski, who puts it away cross-body. And the 6-2 will be undone here. Braswell and Varee back into the match with Braswell to serve. Very productive substitution from Coach C.J. Denk. I did not see that coming at that moment in the match, but it worked flawlessly inside out. 3 straight perfect side-out points for the Legion. Jositis covering a lot of real estate in the back row right now for Chicago. And that one by Wyzorek high off the hands and out of bounds. It looks like Jositis has communicated with his other passers that anything that's in either seam, at least on a float serve, he's just going to take. He's going to shift over and hand pass it or do whatever he can and free up his hitters to go hit. And that is a hallmark of a great libero and also a great communicator and leader on the floor. Hancock serving with a 2-point lead, working on Pelletier. Norton out of the pipe, tipped over the top, and Hancock can't quite make the pancake play defensively. Again, I'm impressed by the willingness of the LVC big attackers to tip the ball out of that spot. They've actually had more success scoring with that than they have hitting the ball hard. Kessel again chops it short. Barely kept alive. Can Wyzorek chop off a slice angle? Yes, somehow. I can't believe he kept that inside the antenna. Norton into the block of Faulkner and off his hands and out of play. And a really nice service mix-up by Cody Kessel, cutting it short, creating some uncertainty or indecision between passers. And we are all tied up at 18 apiece. I think on that passing collision, either there's a wet spot on the ground we're tending to, or Will Kraft's a little bit bothered by his left shoulder. An unexpected kind of injury substitution as Kraft walks this one off. Number 7 in blue, Mark Jones, into the match. 29-year-old out of George Mason, an absolute baller, but he is ice cold off the bench. Jones was not expecting to have to play in this match. We will see how quickly he can get warm and see if Kessel goes right after him on the serve. And actually the momentary delay enough to ice the server. Chicago back up by 1 as the momentum in the gym kind of comes to a screeching halt there. Faulkner had the run last time to get his team this lead that they still cling to. But that time missed it long. And another substitution from LVC, this time a service sub. Number 21, James Hosley, younger brother of Captain Chris. Backup libero once again in to put in a float serve. We're tied up at 19. Perfect hand pass by Wyzorek. Wyzorek into the hands, really good block touch from Marshman. Braswell runs this down, Varee against 2 blockers, and he finds the seam. And New York takes the lead. And the cross-court kill by the opposite, Jordan Varee. 20-19. LVC leads 2-1. And Kraft is going to come back into the match here replacing Jones. Jones didn't even have to touch the ball in those couple points he was on the floor. Kraft has worked out something with his left shoulder. He's back loose. He's ready to go, and the Icemen are back to how they started the match. Wyzorek again on the right side. Another high, hard swing, that time off of Marshman, way out of play. So we're tied up at 20, but now Chicago trailing effectively by half a point as the New York service sub is undone. Hammer of an ace serve. Dave Wyzorek with the rip. Wow, what a bomb. That's exactly what Chicago needed. Right in the seam between Kessel and Pelletier. Timeout, New York. And that's a really smart timeout by CJ Dank. Not trailing by much, only half a point really. But wanting to make sure to slow down Wyzorek's momentum before it gets to be too much. Going to be an exciting end to set number 4 here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Can Wyzorek keep up the service pressure out of the timeout? His team's up by 1. Needing to take this set to force a 5th. Pass well off the net by Pelletier. Varee through a tiny seam in the block again. And right on the end line. Impressive precision from number 15 to White, and a crucial side out for the New York Legion. Really good pass from Jositis. Kraft dug by Pelletier in the cross court. LVC for the lead. Vuri on the right side. And the off-speed shot misses short into the net. And now Chicago service sub number 17, Ben Hancock, who had the ace to win set 2. Back in another pivotal moment. His team up by 1. His ace was off the hands of Norton last time. We'll see if he goes that way again. He does. Really good pass by Norton off his platform. Nice block touch. Back on the LVC side again. Marshman's out of the play. Norton with not much of an approach. Gets it through the cross court somehow. Dave Hancock can't believe it made his passes block. And we're tied up at 22. Chicago's going to undo the service sub. And Jositis comes back in. Norton with a big opportunity on his serve right here to take Chicago out of system. He does. This is going to have to come up high to Weiskircher. Rolled over the top of the block and dug. Kessel for the lead. Tipped over the top. Stabbed out by Weiskircher again. Kraft, pretty good transition. Tipped into the hands and it falls. Boy, is that some great, smart offense all around. A really good, smart shot by Weiskircher against 3 big blockers. Just a nice high roll shot, and then a good reactionary defensive play. Kraft working hard in transition to get back out to the sideline, take an approach, and then a tip through the block. Good high-level offense in a key situation. Chicago back up by 1. That serve doesn't make it over the net. Tied again at 23. Who's going to be clutch in the late stages here? Set number 4. Marshman serving. Into the ceiling by Kraft, and the ceiling immediately out of bounds. That's an ace serve. And Marshman and New York are going to have match point here, 24-23. Talk about clutch. Marshman bringing the hammer. And before he gets a chance to do it again, Chicago's going to call timeout. What a match we've had here today, man. This has been so much fun to watch. Match point for the New York Legion. Mike Marshman has served, just had an ace. Can he do it again out of the timeout? He can't, and a perfectly executed timeout by Chicago forces the error. And we're going to extras. Somebody's got to win by 2 to take this set. Kraft serving at 24 all. Another service error, this time by Kraft, and LVC is going to have another match point. This time Braswell will be the server. Rotation 5 receive here for Chicago. Hancock and Wyzork, the front row hitters, with Kraft and Weiskircher out of the back row. A lot of options here for Tim Faulkner. Barely clips the tape, passed really well by Kraft. Wyzork to keep it alive, down the line and scores. And again, Wyzork taking advantage of how far inside the LVC block has moved. With what looked like a pretty effortless put away down the line that time. We're tied up again, this time at 25. Hancock serving to break the tie. Rotation 1 receive for New York. Keeps that one in play, cuts it short, handled by Pelletier. Free into the block. Pretty nice dig. Oh, definitely a net violation committed there, and it's by the Legion. Chicago take the point. That dig by Hancock passed right on the net, and a mistake made by Vary as he tried to throw it down. Touches the net, and now a set point for Chicago. That's a big turnaround. Hancock serving for the set. Just long. Well watched by Pelletier. LVC stays alive, now 26 all. But Chicago with the advantage, having grabbed the point on serve just before. A slight advantage in the fact that they're receiving serve, but Kessel's dangerous. Float serve this time. Perfect pass by Kraft. Wyzorek is roofed by Witkowski. And a huge move by the LVC block, and now they have match point again, 27-26. Kessel again continuing with the float serve. Pass well off the net by Kraft. Wow, what a swing by Wyzorek. Unbelievable high hard cross court rip, and Chicago stays in at 27 all. We could be here for a while, folks. Strap in. Now it's Faulkner's turn. Had a float service ace earlier in this set. Off the block of Wyzorek and out of bounds. Another kill for Jordan Vary. Such a weird, unique shoulder action that he has, given the fact that on the right side he reverses his footwork. It can easily confuse a lot of blockers. A nice wrist-away spin on that ball. Gets it easily off the block of Wyzorek and out of bounds. And another match point here for New York, 28-27. Witkowski with the float serve. Wyzorek's out of the offense here. Kraft out of the pipe. Right on the end line. Splits the wickets of Marshman's arms on the field goal. Big swing from Kraft. A nice serve by Witkowski to take Wyzorek out of the play. For now, Big Wave Dave back to the line at 28 all. Rotation 3 receive here for the Legion. Overpassed and dispatched by Kraft. Another set point coming up, this time for the Icemen of Chicago. (29-28). Wyzorek likes that serve towards zone 1, but before he gets to do it again, LVC is going to use their second and final team timeout of the set. This is high-level stuff, man. This is exactly what the people tune in to watch. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in here on the VLA YouTube channel. A lot more matches coming your way this weekend, like I said earlier. 3 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern today, along with 3 matches tomorrow and 3 matches Sunday. Make sure to give the league a follow on Instagram at VLA Volleyball. Follow both of these teams. Follow me if you want. I'm at rstclair1. We are so happy that we've gotten these teams in the gym this weekend to give live volleyball to the people. So far, it's been awesome. And Wyzorek out of the timeout, looking to write the next chapter. Kraft signaling that he's blocking line against Vary on LVC's right side. Pass ball off the net. Norton to stay alive. He misses it out of bounds. And the service pressure by Chicago ends up giving them the advantage that they need to send this thing to a tiebreaker, 30-28. An incredibly competitive set 4. And we're going the distance, folks. We're going to do a quick coin toss, and then we're going to come back for a sprint tiebreak set to 15 points. First tiebreaker of the weekend. We wouldn't have had it any other way in this match. This has been awesome. We'll be right back with set 5. You got it all, man.
Hey, I was trying to comment to you on the live. You see it?
Just about set to go for set number 5. Quick sprint to 15 points. When the first team reaches 8, the teams will change sides. This win would go a long way for both of these teams' starts of their weekends. The format, just to say it really quickly, we've got 4 teams here. They're going to play a full round-robin pool, so each team will play 3 matches. At the end of all those matches, we'll reseed the teams 1 through 4, and then play 2 semifinals, a bronze match and a gold match. So 10 matches in total on the weekend. And this, the first one to go the distance into 5 sets. Joe Norton starting for Team LVC on the far side of your screen in rotation 5. And a service error starts it off. The Icemen are on the board. In rotation 6, the starting point for Chicago. I'm so fascinated by where teams choose to start in the rotation to get the matchups that they want. Totally a chess match between the captains and coaches. Hancock just out of bounds again. He's made that very same error a couple times. One all. Every point on serve, every error, every stuff block, that much more magnified in a game only to 15 points. And LVC not starting off well so far with 2 straight service errors. Perfect pass from Norton. Kessel over the high hands and touched on its way to the back line. Tied up at 2. Perfect side up by both teams so far, although it's mostly been service errors. Braswell's float serve working on Wyzorek. He's out of the play. This will be Weiskircher on the left. Nice block touch. Sets up a chance here in transition for LVC. And Varee through the block on the right side. Registers the kill off the high hands. Again, outstanding block touch turning into transition offense. Such a huge deal at the highest levels. If you form a good block and get a decent block touch deflection, it basically turns into a free ball. And we've talked about how good all these offenses are in free ball termination. Braswell serving again. His team leads by 1. Weiskircher again, cross court. Beautiful cover by Jositis. And a double contact by Pelletier. What a play by Peter Jositis, barely keeping that block touch off the floor. And it turns into a point for Chicago. That is the difference in the libero position right there. Wyzorek, whose clutch, hard, aggressive serving ended up being the difference at the end of set number 4 that the Icemen won. We're tied up at 3. Let's see what he's got here in set 5. Excellent pass from Kessel. Wow, what a cross-court hammer by Varee. Unbelievable volleyball from Team LVC that time. It was about as good of a serve as Wyzorek's got, and Cody Kessel put that on an absolute platter. Amazing serve reception. And Kessel back to serve. We saw him go to the float at the end of set 4. He's going back to the jump spin. It's that one on Wyzorek, who's out of the offense. Crapped on the left side down the line, and no touch on its way out of bounds. LVC leads by 2, 5-3. That one missed out of bounds by Kessel, but like I was saying earlier, every 1 point on serve, if you can get 1 point on serve, you can serve aggressively as you want. Because that makes all the difference in a set with so little margin for error, a set only to 15. Wrist away, termination by Witkowski again. Nice range by number 8 in white, coming off the right sideline, moving to his left, but using his shoulders and his wrist to cut that ball back to the right. Not an easy swing to do, and not the one that any block is expecting to have to defend. 6-4 for LVC. Good pass by Wyzorek. Hancock out of the middle. Off of Kessel and middle back and out of play. And dueling middle attacks from both teams. Those areas of the game starting to get a lot more attention, which is interesting here in set 5. Weiskircher again. Another good pass by Kessel. Ooh, and a slip there, I think. I hope Cody's okay. Yeah, either he just slipped or jumped a little bit early. Regardless, the connection on the Bic set not even close to being there. Ball falls harmlessly, and Chicago takes the point. We're tied up at 6. Yep. Weiskircher again, and that time a service error. 7-6. Again, when the first team in this set reaches 8 points, they'll switch sides. Perfect pass by Wyzorek. Weiskircher out of the back row, over the top of the block and long. No touch. It's a good deep swing, just missed everything, unfortunately. And LVC will trigger the side change up 8-6. Varee now to serve with Team LVC on the near side of your screen. 8-6 advantage. Rotation 4 received for Chicago. Tough pass. Can Faulkner run this down? Yeah, Kraft is going to slap this one over. Dug by Varee, basically a free ball. Braswell to Marshman off the block and out of bounds. And now a 3-point advantage for New York, 9-6. Varee again, working on Wyzorek mostly. That time going at Kraft, but misses it long. And Chicago needing to find points on serve. Will Kraft, a couple aces in this match. He's had some success working wrist away. See if he goes at Norton and kind of that stack of players over there on LVC's left side of the court. That is a good spot to target. Got to serve in, though. He does. Really good serve. Barely kept alive. Free ball coming. Faulkner thrown to the floor. Tapped up by Marshman. I don't think that's a block. Oh, I'm not sure. Dug by Jositis. Not into the ceiling. Kraft keeps it alive. Wyzor can have a swing at this. And a beautiful, lucky, fortunate high slap swing into the block, and it falls just out of the reach of Varee on the LVC side. Crazy point. A great dig by Peter Jositis on the Chicago side, keeping that one alive. I'm not sure earlier in that rally if that touch by Mike Marshman was considered a block or not. Evidently, by the officials, it was. And we played on. Chicago ended up winning the points on serve, and Kraft is serving here again. Put a lot of pressure on last time. That's a nice one from Kessel. That's got to be a net violation there from somebody, and it is by LVC, and we're tied up at 9. Down official right away called the net violation against Luke Braswell on the New York side. And Chicago, right on cue, has brought it back. Tied up at 9. Kraft serving again. Oh, a service error. But good work by Will Kraft getting his team back into it. Now it'll be Norton, who also has a cannon for an arm from the service line. What a pass by Jositis. And Hancock off the block and out of bounds. I could hear the Icemen bench immediately recognize how good of a pass that was by Jositis. That's an excellent first ball contact. Tied up at 10. Hancock's got to serve this ball in. He does. Perfect pass from Norton. Wow, look how high up Kessel got for that one. Incredible reach, getting that ball off the top of the antenna easily. 11-10 LVC. As the service sub's going to come in. Eric Martin, we talked about him in the 6-2 in the last set. This time uses the service sub for the middle blocker, Mike Marshman. Whoa! Unfortunately, a net violation, but a great one-handed set by Faulkner. Poindexter trying to bury that thing straight down and followed through right into the net. That's a huge play. LVC now up by 2, 12-10. Another perfect pass from Kraft. Another tight one, though. Excellent cover by Jositis. Free ball here. Witkowski into the shoulder of Jositis and out of play. 13-10. The serve of Eric Martin could be the difference as he's forced 2 straight tight passes. And Chicago definitely going to have to call timeout here. (13-10) with the Chicago timeout. LVC only 2 points away from getting their first match win of the weekend. Martin another timeout. He's been going at Kraft. See if he goes back there. This time it's Wyzorek. Sharp cross court again, and Wyzorek terminates. But that's the easy part for Chicago. Now is the hard part. They need 2 more points on serve again. They got some in the last rotation on Will Kraft, but they gave him right back as Martin served for LVC. It'll be Faulkner, the float serving setter, the captain of the Icemen. Going to try to will his team to a couple service points here. Back set to Vree on the right side into the block of Wyzorek, and it's down. There's one. Chicago grabs the point on serve off the kind of soft stuff block of Dave Wyzorek. And now this is really interesting for LVC. I think everyone in the gym is expecting this ball to go to Cody Kessel. But if I'm Braswell and I'm thinking ahead of that, I'll flick it back to Vree again. Kessel and a great block touch. Kraft can run this down. Chicago for the tie. Wyzorek over the top. Pancake play is made. That ball's kept alive. But no, that ball's called down. Some controversy here with our officials. I did not see it. I am not sure if Vree made that pancake play completely or not. The officials have said that he did not. That ball is down, and we are tied. 13 apiece. Wow, what a match. Timeout LVC. Looked commanding at 13-10, but Chicago never giving up in this thing. They had to win 30-28 in set 4 to even force this 5th set. And now we're headed for a 2-point margin at most, if not extra points, here in set 5. This is as close of a match as you can get. So much fun to watch. It'll be rotation 6 receive for LVC. Witkowski and Kessel, the front row hitters. We've seen Braswell throw it on a couple setter dumps. Gets a good pass. I could see him do it again. Faulkner with the float serve. Kessel through the block, touched off of Kraft and out of bounds, and that's a kill for number 18 in white at a crucial time. And they've had a few of them already in the last set. But now the true endgame match point. 14-13. Luke Braswell, the LVC setter, the 23-year-old, will put in a float serve for the match. Rotation 1 receive for Chicago on the far side. A serve! No way! What a beautiful, nasty floater. Got the better of the seam between Wyzorek and Jasitis. And that is it. 15-13, the final score. The New York Legion takes it. They are on the board for the weekend. 25-21, 19-25, 25-23, 28-30, and 15-13, the final line. What a match. That was sensational volleyball. So much fun to watch. I'm going to try and get LVC captain Chris Hosley over here really quick for an interview still on the stream. But as far as the rest of the day goes, LVC will be back in action in only 40 minutes. A quick back-to-back after this barn burner of a 5-setter against the Phoenix Ascension, who were victorious earlier against Team Pineapple. So that one will go live at 3 p.m. Eastern, just 40 minutes from now. And then 6 p.m. Eastern after that will be Chicago against Team Pineapple. A lot more volleyball coming your way today and all weekend. So I'm going to grab Chris Hosley and talk to him. And then we will be back at 3 p.m. for more volleyball. I'm here with Team LVC's captain, Chris Hosley. Dude, what a barn burner.
Yes, it was pretty crazy. A lot of back and forth, and both teams really brought it. So, I mean, at any point, I mean, I feel like both teams had opportunities, and in the last couple sets, they really take it over. So.
Yeah, I agree. The runs responded with runs.
Yeah.
The kind of chess match back and forth of offenses versus blockers. The serving game, I was really fascinated by all of it. I think it's just the high-level product that we were looking for this match. But if you could put your finger on a difference that brought you guys this win, what do you think it would be?
Our blocking got cleaned up a lot, and the first 2 or 3 sets we were just getting tooled a lot of sloppy hands, and we kind of squared up our blocking a lot, made some good blocking reads, and didn't try to overreach on balls, and allowed our defense to play behind us, and we got a lot better quality touches that didn't go out of bounds and result for kills from them. And that was the biggest thing that kind of transitioned the 4th and 5th set for us.
I totally agree, and I said that at one point, how impressed I was with the quality of block touches that you guys were getting.
At the end.
Yeah, at the end, yeah. And we know how, like, a good block touch is basically a free ball.
Yep.
And we know how good these offenses are with free balls. Yep. So you're right, that's a huge difference.
Yep, and then that allowed us to get some more transition swings and kills that we weren't getting in the first couple sets. So it was a huge difference. Our blockers definitely stepped it up, and it was probably, like you said, the one thing that kind of changed it and was the reason that we ended up winning that last set.
Well done, dude. Great product. The people love to watch it. So now you get to play again a little over half an hour from now.
Yep.
That's a quick turnaround. You're going to have to use some depth. What are you telling the guys, and what's the plan?
We're going to just kind of relax for a few minutes, just make sure we're hydrating, stretching, make sure we're good to go, and then we'll refocus with about 30 minutes before game time and try to bring it against Arizona, or the Ascension guys.
Sweet, dude. Really well played.
Perfect.
Good luck in the next one.
Thanks.
Good win.
Awesome, man. That was great.
Good match.
Really good match. Loved it. Really fun to watch.